We are back at Gillette Stadium. Tom Leyden, Butch Stearns with you as the Patriots get set to host the Giants. And Butch, we were just talking about it with Jeff Howe. This defense has been ridiculous. They haven't given up one passing touchdown. A big reason for that, Devin McCourty.
Yeah, Devin McCourty's having a career year. But you know what, Tom? Think about this. In his time with the Patriots, he has seen it all. He's been to 5 Super Bowls. He has 3 rings. He's not only played for Bill Belichick, he's now being coached by Belichick's son. And through it all, he spent the entire time with Tom Brady. But it all pales in comparison to be able to play football with his twin brother, Jason. Tell us something that might surprise people about Bill.
Oh, that he loves to have a good time. You know, I think, you know, the outside world looking in always sees him as, you know, very lean, straightforward, you know, doesn't take any mess, but within these walls in our football circle, you know, I think he's all about that. He wants the players to be free to go out there and play the game as they see it. There's just ideas thrown to us and like, hey, we know you guys know what to do. Figure out what you want to do and how you want to play it and go. You know, I don't think people would expect that from the outside looking in.
Talk a little bit about the dynamic that's going on defense. You got Steve Belichick and Gerard Mayo.
The truth is, it's just one collective group that everyone's working together. We all fill different roles within our defense, but it all is about one thing, and that's playing good football, and that's all any of us care about. I think Steve and Gerard's the same way. Like, they work together with everybody else in the defensive staff to come up with the best game plan and then to go execute it on game day.
How is he like his dad?
Well, the one thing is their voice. You know, he always says this. He doesn't want to talk too much in the meetings because he knows how much he sounds the same as his dad. And then I think their demeanors are very similar. You know, Steve is very even-keeled. You know, doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. You know, he always expects the same, and he demands that, but he never has to yell and scream.
Talk about Gerard as a coach. Is it different listening to a guy who's been there in the trenches with you?
He's like the same way that he was as a player, as a coach. We come in here at 7:45 in the morning, and he's yelling, screaming, high energy. Hello, Devin. Like, that's how he greets you, and it's how he was as a player. You love as a player when your coach just has that kind of energy, and then you know he knows what he's talking about.
Let me mention a couple of guys on your defensive side of the ball, and just give me either one word or one phrase description about them. Stephon Gilmore.
Lockdown.
Duron Harmon.
The closer. That's what everybody calls him, man.
Dante Hightower.
The heartbeat.
Jamie Collins.
Mr. Do-It-All.
When it's all said and done, and you look back on it, what are you going to remember most about playing with Tom Brady?
Just how competitive he was. And I think that competitiveness from him has just single-handedly made us a better team overall, because he always brings that attitude that he wants to win. You need that. You need to battle. You need to make each other better by going after each other, and then at the end of the day become a team. But it starts with that competitiveness, and to me, he's always been the most competitive person I've been around. For the time you've been in the NFL, I got to imagine that playing with your twin brother Jason is right at the top of the list. Yeah, it's not even close. You know, last year, and especially, you know, how he started with, you know, the end of the 4th preseason game, playing in the game, so many people saying he wouldn't be here, and it felt like that fast, like something we thought was going to be so magical was about to end. And then, you know, doesn't play that much in the first game, ends up playing a ton throughout the season, has a big play in the Super Bowl. Like, you couldn't draw this up, you know, any way you imagined it or dreamt it, you just wouldn't have thought of it that way. And for it to go down like that was a lot of fun.
You know, Tom, people want to talk about the quality of the Patriots' opponents so far, but really the numbers are staggering for this defense. Historic through 5 games. They're first in each of these categories, less than 7 points a game. Only 2 touchdowns allowed overall on defense. 24 sacks, 11 interceptions, and only 269 total yards a game. All of those tops in the league.
It's really incredible, and it starts with the defensive backfield, which is so experienced, but I think the heartbeat of this defense is the guys up front, and we're going to talk about them next. Not only the defensive line, but the linebackers. Those are the guys who are the boogeymen. They love that nickname, and it makes sense because it's a scary crew. We'll talk about the Patriots linebackers as Boston 25 pregame live continues right after this.